podcasting, just audio only, is not incredible for growing your audience, at least not like it used to. Video, it's a thing, but staying invisible, that feels even worse to me. My personal preference cannot be the thing that limits the impact that I'm committed to making. If they can't find you, none of it matters. Video isn't about vanity metrics or chasing views. It's about making sure that the people who need you most can actually discover you. That's why I'm betting big on YouTube in 2026. What if this was the year you stopped waiting for perfect and started building visibility?
My guest today is a dear friend of mine.
One of them goes, that one over there, she's big money. And it was my guest today.
Her name is Amy Porterfield.
Amy Porterfield, the ever amazing
best-selling author of 2 Weeks Notice, Miss Amy Porterfield.
For as long as I've been in business, I have said one thing over and over again. And if you're an OG, you might even guess what that is. Can you think of something that I don't like, and I'm very, very vocal about it, and I talk about it all the time? Can you guess? It's video. I have always said I do not like recording video. Like if I had a choice and if it was audio or video, I'd always choose audio. I've joked about it. I've resisted it. I've built entire content strategies around avoiding it. And honestly, I felt good about my choice for a really long time. Podcasting has always been my safe place. It is where I can show up with a warm drink and share my heart and my knowledge, and I don't really have to get ready. And the ladies, you know what I mean by getting ready. The hair, the makeup. I don't want to always do it. There's some days that I just want to look like a troll and not get ready at all. And so podcasting is just way more comfortable for me because it's not video. And it's worked really, really well for me, meaning I've built a multi-million-dollar business without going all in with video. Sure, I'm on video a lot. Over the years, I've just accepted it and I've done more of it. But what I haven't done is I haven't built a YouTube platform. I have videos on YouTube, but it's nothing that we really spend any time on, and I don't optimize it at all for anything. So the thing is, I was thinking when I was making this episode, and I thought, well, if I was starting today, or if I even started just in the last few years, I would have to fully go in my opinion, with video, and specifically with YouTube. So back in the day when I started 16 years ago, no. I mean, YouTube was definitely even a thing back then, but it wasn't necessary to grow your business. And I'm starting to think that these days, I think it might not be necessary, but it's definitely a fast track to more exposure and growth in your business. So here's why I think that. So I've always resisted video. I've never really gravitated toward it, but something recently kind of stopped me in my tracks. Inside my team's analytics, I saw a chart that made my stomach drop just a little. It was our discoverability. And the gap between audio and video was way bigger than I expected. And the reality hit me. The people who need my message are searching for answers on YouTube. These are women who are growing real online businesses and craving strategy and structure in a clear path. If I am not fully embracing video there, I am invisible to many of the people that I want to serve. And in that moment, I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm done saying I don't like video. I'm done saying I don't want to do video. I'm done saying that, let's find a workaround. I'm just done because I have very clear goals. And this is a little secret I want you to take from this episode. We're talking all about YouTube today, what it looks like for me to go all in, to help you go all in if you want to. But I just want to back up and say, I'm so clear on my goals for 2026 and beyond. I know what I want. I think I have a big hurdle in front of me to get there because I'm creating a coaching program. I've never done anything like this before. It's high ticket, like it's all new to me and my team. And so I'm looking for every opportunity I can take advantage of in order to help us see the kind of growth faster than maybe without the video, without going all in here. I'm looking for faster growth. I'm looking to be more strategic because I'm very crystal clear about what I want. And I'm willing to do what it takes to get what I want. I say this all the time. I first heard that from Layla Hermosi, and I'm like, oh girl, 100%. You've got to be willing to do what it takes to get what you want. And the do what it takes is not always unicorns and rainbows. It's not always what you love to do. And I don't focus on how I feel about this. I focus on how I feel getting to where I want to go and reaching those big goals. And so moving toward my goals, I focus on how that feels. Very exciting, very challenging, and how it will feel when I actually hit those goals. I'm not focusing on how I feel when I'm doing something I don't really want to do. It's just irrelevant. I don't go there. And this has helped me immensely. So, and I am really happy right now with where I am in my life. And I say that because I'm not miserable doing these things I don't want to do. I'm very just clear they're necessary to get to where I want to go. And so it's just a mindset shift over the last probably 2 years that I've made, and it has served me well. And I want to share that with you because you and I think, we're so similar in wanting to grow a business and putting our heart and soul into this. And sometimes learning somebody else's mindset shift could help me immensely. So me sharing mine with you could help you immensely as well. Okay. So here's what I've decided. My personal preference is not video. That is the truth. But I've decided that my personal preference cannot be the thing that limits the impact that I'm committed to making. So I've committed to go all in with YouTube in 2026 and beyond. And I am so serious about this that I'm investing in it. We hired a video team to help us navigate this new landscape and to help us grow with hopefully less confusion and less mistakes than we would make on our own if we were trying to tackle YouTube just starting from scratch. So we're still learning what this partnership will look like. I'll definitely share it on this podcast as kind of things start to unfold. But here's what I do know. I'm going all in on video in 2026 because my mission has grown and my comfort zone can no longer be the place that I build strategy from. Today, I'm going to walk you through why this shift matters for me, but more importantly, why it could matter for you as well. And I'm going to show you how to embrace video in a way that feels simple and approachable, even if you've avoided it in the past, even if you're anything like me and you see yourself on video and just like, rather not. But I want to really help you engage. Now, if you're listening, hold on, don't scroll. If you're listening, I guess, do you scroll by videos, whatever. And you're like, Amy, I'm great on video. I've embraced video since the day I started my business. I'm, on YouTube, I'm doing all the things. Love it. Jealous. Good for you. But also I want to share some strategies behind the scenes, some things we're looking at, some things we're thinking about that might add some value to your already moving forward strategy in YouTube and video. So I think there's something for everyone here. So let's dive in. Let's start with a shift that I've witnessed over the past few years. Kind of feels like a harsh truth, and it hits hard for anyone who puts their blood, sweat, and tears into their podcast, including me. And the truth is that podcasting is incredible for nurturing your audience. But what I've learned over the past few years, and this might be a shift, this might not have been true years and years ago, but over the last few years, I think this has become true, and I'm so bummed about it. Podcasting, just audio only, is not incredible for growing your audience, at least not like it used to. Now, I'm not saying it won't grow your audience, but audience growth through podcasting alone isn't what it used to be. Now, it's become painfully true, and I just have seen the writing on the wall, but I knew I needed to make some shifts in order to keep growing my audience. And you know how I feel about audience growth, right? To me, when I think of audience growth, I think of growing your email list, your top asset in your business in order to engage and make you money. And so the minute I realized, hold on a second, my podcast is just no longer attracting an audience, a new audience like it used to. It's not being discovered like I want it to. I think it's because that shift of a lot of people are now putting their podcast on video, and that's the direction it's going. And downloads don't tell the whole story because podcasts, they're not built for search. Like I said, they nurture beautifully, but they are not pulling new people in like they used to. That's my opinion, but I also look at data before I share anything with you, and the data really proves this. Now, YouTube, as you know, completely different game. YouTube is a search engine. People type in exactly what they're struggling with. They want solutions. They want demonstrations. They want guidance. They want real support. So once you post a video, it keeps working for you if you do it right, if you optimize it. So it could work for you long after you hit publish, long after you've moved to the next thing. Now, obviously, podcast works like that as well, just not as powerful as a video. So if your next year depends on expanding your audience, like most of us, it does, you can't rely on platforms where people aren't actively searching. So ask yourself, is the platform where I spend the most time also the platform where my audience is searching for solutions to their problems? For me, no, that is not the case. I spend most of my time podcasting or really on Instagram. And of course, you can search on both of those, but no one is searching on either of those platforms like they are on YouTube. So if I'm spending most of my time on platforms where people are not really searching for solutions, but instead they're just scrolling, listening, watching, whatever, well, then I've got a problem. So if you answer no to this as well, like I have, video might be the gap that you haven't filled in yet, at least not intentionally. I want to be clear. I have a YouTube channel. I've had it forever. And hopefully by the time this comes out, it's cleaned up a little bit because it's very cringeworthy. It has been for years. So even someone with a really successful business, I just want to take a moment. I always love to just point things out in the sense of you don't have to have it all figured out. I sure as heck don't. And I have a thriving business, but I have a weak YouTube channel. I don't think that I can allow it to stay weak for a lot longer based on where I see things going in the online space. But yeah, that was my truth. So again, next time you're really hard on yourself, just remember, Amy built a multi-million-dollar business and she doesn't have it all figured out. All of her platforms aren't fully optimized. She's not doing all the things right. So that's just a little nudge to be nice to yourself. Okay. So video feels like a whole thing, right? Like, can we at least get behind that? Even if you're doing a lot of video, even if you're way ahead of me in terms of optimizing your YouTube, do you agree it is a lot of work? Please say yes. Video, it's a thing. But staying invisible, that feels even worse to me. And coming from me, you know I must really mean that when I say it. That yes, video's a thing. Yes, it's going to take more work for me. Yes, I need to be more intentional about it. Yes, I've got to get ready. Now, I know not everyone has to get ready for video. Like if you don't want to do hair and makeup, you do you. That's just not my style. So I'm going to do hair and makeup. It's not like I get totally made up or anything, but I just feel better. And so I always tease, I came from a mom that like got ready to go to the grocery store. So that's just in my blood. But at the same time, I do have to get uncomfortable. And I want to say that to you as well. You got to get uncomfortable. You got to push yourself out of those comfort zones because that is not where the growth is, right? So yeah, it's a whole thing. And being invisible feels worse. So I'm just going to make video work on my terms. Second up, let's talk about shorts. So what I've learned is that short form video is one of the fastest ways to reach new people. And YouTube shorts are simple to create and you can truly provide real value with them. You can share a quick insight that shifts perspective, a myth buster that your audience needs to hear, a mindset shift you learn the hard way, a behind the scenes moment that could build trust with your audience, a simple tip they use today, like not someday, they could just take action right away. These short form videos, they are working. And the thing is, shorts aren't replacing your deeper teaching. They're leading people to it. And when I finally realized that, I thought, oh, this is good because you and I, we spend a lot of time on our deeper teaching, right? Whether it be podcasts, videos, whatever, like the free content that we're putting out there, like that I'm putting out on this podcast, I spend a lot of time researching organizing, working with my team on the topics and the outlines and all of that. So that matters to me, that people engage and really find what they're looking for in my content. But if no one's finding it, then what's the point, right? So again, shorts aren't replacing that deeper teaching. They're leading people to it. And if I can get more eyeballs on the work that I spend a lot of time creating, thank God, hallelujah, right? So think of these shorts as your front door, like the first impression, the wait, who is this kind of situation? Like it's that moment that they're like, wait, who is this? And then they start watching it and then they're like, this is good. And they go deeper with your long form content. They subscribe to your YouTube channel. They want to listen to more of your podcast, whatever it might be, because it's so weird. Now, because I'm going all in with YouTube, when I say podcast, that's what I'm going all in with. Like my main content will be this podcast. It's just that we're going to optimize for YouTube. What that looks like exactly, I mean, I have some idea, but I'm not fully ready to lay it out for you, but I will on the show when I've got it dialed in. So when I talk about doing more video, I'm just saying I'm using the video that I'm recording right now for this podcast, but we're going to turn it into shorts. We're going to optimize it for YouTube so that more people find it. But I hate to admit this. I don't even want to say it. My team might even edit this out. I don't know. But I do not watch YouTube videos when I want to listen to a podcast. So, and I've always said this, like, that's probably why I hesitated to get on YouTube for my podcast. Because I'm like, who's watching a podcast? Why not put it in your earbuds, walk on your treadmill, go to the gym, in your commute? Like, I like to listen to things while I'm doing something else. So I'm not watching it. But first of all, I asked a lot of my friends and many of them do watch it. Which means then I kind of want to make it more interesting when you're watching me. So there's like, we're talking about potentially doing my guest interviews in person in a studio a little later this year. Maybe we haven't figured that out yet, because I think that's way more interesting on video when we're in the same place together, right? Way more work, but I'm still working it out. But the other thing is that discoverability that we talked about earlier. So they might discover my podcast on YouTube. They might be busy doing something, but they're listening to it on YouTube, not watching me every minute. But again, it's more discoverable on YouTube than my audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it might be. So that is why I'm focused more on building my podcast via YouTube, essentially, is what I'm talking about. And then we'll do more than just podcast video. We will be creating video just for YouTube. So that's another thing we're working out right now. And again, if you stick around on this podcast, I share what I'm doing behind the scenes, right? That's my most favorite thing to do on this podcast. Hey, we had a problem. This was our solution. This is how we worked it out. Here's how it could work for you. Like, those are my favorite episodes. So there will be episodes like that coming up for YouTube as well. In a crowded online space, discoverability isn't a luxury anymore. It's the pre-work that makes everything else possible. And what I'm learning is that a lot of shorts from some of the big influencers you follow are just snippets of their larger content. So people like Emma Greed, who I love, she has a podcast called Aspire, and it's one of my favorites right now. Her shorts are just taken from her podcast interviews or her talking about the podcast she just did. So she's not spending hours and hours creating these shorts, but instead she's repurposing a lot of her content. And that's exactly what we're going to do as well. Okay, so moving on, let's talk about the part that feels the heaviest for most of us. And that part, because it feels heavy, keeps us stuck. Video feels like a project. I mentioned earlier, like, it's a thing, right? It's a production, something that requires time and energy and a level of polish that I'm not sure I wanted to do for so long. And some of you might even be like, Amy, I'm not even good on video, so I don't even want to show my face, that kind of thing. Because years and years ago, I would have said I'm just not good on video. Now it's more like I just don't like to do it. But this is going to be one of the last times you hear me say that. I'm just going to stop saying it. And I'm just embracing video. Anyway, but if that feels like you, like, video's a project, Amy, this feels way heavier than just jumping on a mic and recording my podcast in my closet so the audio's good. I get it. But please know this. I've had all those same feelings, but here's the shift that made video possible for me and like truly sustainable, not just like I'll do it for a week and then probably burn out. Video is not harder than audio. This is my mindset shift. It's just simply newer for me. So, of course, I've been on video forever, but being mindful of video, what I say, how I create it, how it gets organized, how we set it up, that just is new for me. And here's what I want you to know about my own journey with video. 16 years ago, I actually started with YouTube, which kind of blows my mind. And my setup back then, incredibly simple, almost embarrassingly simple. Like I had a desktop camera, like a little camera on top of my desktop. Yeah. Natural light from a window. And if it was nighttime, then my light was horrific. A quiet corner of my house with a closet in the background. And this is when I lived in that little condo in Carlsbad. Zero fancy equipment. I didn't even know what equipment to get, so I didn't have any. And that was it. And that simple setup, that willingness just to start, it led me to where I am today in my business. Like that is how I got my start. I used to make videos all the time. And I have to tell you something so embarrassing. We were looking at just all the videos I've created on YouTube back in the day when I had, the little bob haircut. If you've been around for a while, you know what I'm talking about. Well, actually, I think we just showed you some in that little montage there. So back in the day when I was recording all of those videos, we recently looked at some of the analytics, and like one of my most popular videos, like today, like right now, the video that's gotten like the most views is something like how to send out a tweet or how to retweet, something like that. Yeah, that's mortifying. So by the time you hear this, because obviously I usually record these about a month in advance, by the time you hear this or watch this podcast video, I'm hoping we've cleaned things up a little bit. You might not even be able to find that video. I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're doing. We haven't gotten a plan together yet. But yeah, that got me to where I am today. So that's kind of a big deal. And I'm so glad I started in all the messiness. Now, I'll be honest, I wasn't consistent with YouTube for years. I moved to other platforms. I got distracted by what felt easier or more comfortable for me. But I'm back now because it's kind of crazy that 16 years ago, YouTube was really popular. And today it's even more popular. Like that's kind of blows my mind. You would have thought that it would have been something else or moved to something different, but no, it's really stood this test of time. And dang it, why wasn't I just more consistent with it from the get-go? I will say this, I have an overwhelming sense of regret, and I have to just let it go. What's the point of this, right? But I like to be real with you in the sense of I regret not embracing it. I hate that I've told you for years how much I hate it, but I also knew I wasn't alone. So I wanted just to say like, hey, if you hate it too, me too. Like I just wanted to stand in solidarity with you if you could relate. But I really regret not getting on it sooner. So if you are more new to business than I am, just don't make the same mistake I made. Let's just embrace it together. I'll continue to talk about it on the show, and we can kind of figure this out together. So just don't wait. I'm back now with YouTube because I understand what YouTube actually does for discoverability in a way that other platforms simply can't match. So here's your actual starting point. Step 1, I want you to just find your spot. Choose a place in your home or your office where the lighting is decent, near a window is ideal. You don't need to be Instagram perfect. You need it just to be consistent so your audience recognizes your space. Step 2, set up your phone. You can keep your phone steady by propping it on a stack of books. But hey, that was me. I totally dated myself. We don't need a stack of books. Get a tripod on Amazon. They're cheap now. And just get something that's just simple. Set up your tripod. Find it for under $20 on Amazon. Maybe even you could use one of those suction cup things to keep your phone on your window if you want. Like, let's just let it be easy. Because what I'm trying to say here is I have a setup. Like if you're watching it right now, I've got 2 big lights right here. I've got this microphone here that I just kind of push right above there. I'm using Riverside. I mean, some people think my background is fake. I think if it was fake, it'd be better than it is now. This is just all stuff I got from Amazon. And but I've got a good setup here. This is not where I started, nor is it where you need to start. So if you think you need a bunch of fancy things, you are wrong. You just need to start. And so I can't encourage that enough. And from there, obviously position things at eye level. You don't want to look up and you don't want to be looking down. Just like be normal. Just like you're just talking to someone right here. Hit record and check. You're good to go. Just make sure that people can see you clearly, hear you clearly. I have recorded something that I've gotten all the way through and it was on mute. Like I didn't make sure that the little waves were bouncing. So test your audio, do a little test run, test your audio, make sure your video is just clear enough and you're good to go. As you grow, you can add fancier things. You can add a fancier mic. So in my house, I have, in Nashville, I have a studio, which is here. This is my video studio. And then I have a office. So a studio and an office. And so in my office, I don't do a lot of video. And when I come over here, I do. And I'm building a house in a place called Leaper's Fork in Tennessee. And it's on 70 acres. Like it's our dream home. I've thought about this for over 10 years. And we're going to do the same thing in my new house where I have a studio and I have an office. So when I come in here, it's all video. We're getting down to business. When I go in there, I feel like I could just be a little bit more relaxed, not a lot of equipment everywhere. But this is years into it. I sure as heck didn't have this when I was starting. So again, let's just get started, my friend. And then things get simpler. You start making more money. You can add fancier equipment or not, but we just got to get started, right? And keep it as simple as possible so that you will keep coming back. So if you keep doing things and you make it too complicated or think you have to have a bunch of B-roll or cool transitions or a really expensive editor, you will never do it, or at least you'll never continue, right? And so just keep it simple so that you keep showing up. And then, of course, you're going to upload your video. You're going to title it clearly. You're going to write a simple description. You're going to hit publish. You're just going to get it out there. And the real secret here is not production value. It is consistency. When you build a simple setup that you can repeat every time, you remove stress and you remove that decision fatigue. So this is what helps you stay consistent. I promise you, some of my most successful students in creating courses and memberships and coaching programs, the start was so messy, but they were dedicated. They're just like, I'm doing this. And I have so much respect for that. I'm the kind of girl that has to storm the island and burn the boats. And one of my ways that I do that, so that I don't go back, one of the ways that I do that is I publicly let you know what I'm doing. Because by saying it publicly, you're holding me accountable. I don't want to be the person that keeps saying I'm going to do things and I don't do them. And it's happened before because I've used this strategy to keep myself accountable and sometimes don't follow through, but it's rare. So here I am making this big commitment on video saying I'm doing this. And maybe that's something that could help you, asking your audience to keep you accountable and really just sharing what your journey is going to look like. I think that makes a big difference. So again, let's not worry so much about the setup. Let's worry that we are keeping it simple so that you will be more consistent. Deal? The next part I want to talk to you about is repurposing your video. And you've repurposed content before, right? So just remember, when you record video first, everything becomes easier. So one piece of video, this is just a reminder, could be obviously a full podcast video that it's just audio on Apple or Spotify or wherever. Multiple shorts, this is what I'll be doing, pulling the best 60-second moments or even shorter, putting them on shorts or making them into IG reels or anything like that. Of course, you can do a carousel post. You could do an email where you take some of the content, transcribe it, turn it into an email, a blog post, something on Substack, a social clip, a story prompt. I mean, so many things you can do with one video. And what I've noticed from some of the pros is that they have somebody specifically clipping all of this for their social, for their newsletter, for their Substack, whatever it might be. There's people you can hire. They're called clippers. This is new to me. So if it's not to you, you're ahead of me here, that you can hire them. You record the long form content. They create the short form content for you. And so if you do have some money to invest, by all means, do it. But also, there's some AI tools for this, right? There's a tool called Opus Clip. It takes one longer video and automatically creates short shareable clips for platforms like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. So it identifies like the key moments, adds captions, formats everything for you. I mean, come on. So it makes it so much easier. So it's OPUS Clip, Opus Clip. Absolutely worth checking out. For years, content creation has felt like this never-ending treadmill, right? If you've been in the game for a while, you know this. Like creating content, really before AI, it was a lot of work. Now we've got these cool tools to help us, to guide us, to make it easier, and we should fully take advantage of that. So I was always starting from scratch, always looking at a blank Google Doc to create my content. No more. Especially if I use video first. It just lightens the load because now I have a plethora of content that I can create from one long video like this one here. So if you do this right, you could have a full content system for one single recording that creates, let's say, 20 different assets in your business. That's a big deal. Okay, final thing I want to share with you. The investment is in being found. So here's the truth I need you to hear. You can create the best content in the world. You can have the most life-changing offer. You can be the exact person someone needs right now. But if they can't find you, none of it matters. Video isn't about vanity metrics or chasing views, although I think we've all gotten stuck in that trap, right? It's about making sure that the people who need you most can actually discover you, which is what we talked about at the very beginning of this episode. The investment is about proximity to the audience actively searching for solutions, strategic visibility that compounds over time, acceleration of your discoverability and authority. That's worth investing in, investing your money, investing your time, investing your effort, all of it. So here's the reframe. You're not adding more work to your plate. You're building an asset that keeps working long after you hit publish. Because here's what I know for sure. The version of your business that you're building next, it needs you to be more visible, more discoverable, more willing to meet your audience where they're actually searching. That's why I'm betting big on YouTube in 2026. Not because it's trendy. If that's the case, I would have been on it a long time ago. And not because everyone else is doing it. Because it's the smartest business decision that I can make for long-term growth and visibility. So here's my challenge to you. What if this was the year you stopped waiting for perfect and started building visibility? What if you recorded one video this week just to kickstart things? Just one, and just see what happens. You don't need permission. You don't need a bigger team. You don't need a bigger audience. You don't need better equipment. You just need to decide that being found matters more than your comfort zone. And if you're ready to make that decision, I'm going to be right here building alongside you, cheering you on as I do the same, and then sharing with you what works and doesn't work. You can bet there will be an episode in a few months saying, here's what I've tried, here's what's working, here's what's not working, here's what I suggest you try as well. So stick with me because I will be sharing this journey throughout the year of what's working for me as I build up my YouTube channel. Let's make 2026 the year that we bet big on ourselves and we go all in. Deal? Let's do it. If this video sparks something for you and you want to follow this new chapter with me as we explore YouTube and really dive into what's working and what's not, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe, of course. And if you're listening on the podcast, follow the show wherever you tune in. I'm excited for what's ahead, and I'm grateful that you're here for it. I'll talk to you soon.